Hello, Michigan gardeners. This is Doug at Buzzard Family Farm, just outside of Marshall on Verona Road. I thought I hadn't done a video in a while. It's been really hot for several days. Now it's cooled off, but while it was hot, we were doing a lot of work at the greenhouse and planting things out in the field, and the watering and irrigating and everything was just taking too much time. So thought I'd take you on a tour of the garden. The peonies are really starting at this point. This is a single peony. You can see the single row of petals and a more open center. These tend to be a little bit earlier, sometimes called Japanese peonies, but I like them a lot because when it rains, they don't fall over as hard as the ones that are fully double. Not that we've had that much rain, but at any rate, I do like the singles, and if you're looking for something for your pollinators, this one's a little bit more open for pollinators to work with. This one's called Ray Patton. It's an old peony, but it's a good one, and you can see it's got quite a few buds coming. This stem here is where you can see some freeze damage. The early peonies that were out enough with their buds actually got zapped a little bit by those freezes we had a couple weeks ago. And this here is a bud that I actually took off from right there. It's just, you can see the black on it, and it isn't going to open. So you are going to see that sometimes when you go through the garden. Next to it, right here, is a more traditional, what I call double peony. This one's called Kansas. Very good cut flower. It's a magenta color. Nice stems, good length for cutting, but a very pretty peony. And it'll come out in a few days, and suffered less from the freezes because its buds just weren't out as far as some of the earlier peonies were. And behind that, if you can see, there's a Baptisia, which is almost a lavendery color. It's really pretty too, and that makes an excellent cut flower for any bouquets that people might want to put together. I'll go through the rest of the garden and show you some different peonies and some other things that are blooming right now. There's just a lot of stuff going on. We're about a week ahead of schedule on perennials, so you'll see a lot of things that are out. This guy down here, Montana, is a perennial bachelor button. That's been out for a while. This is another peony called Festiva Maxima. It's white with some magenta crinkling inside on the inner petals. Up here is another single peony. It's very pretty. Seemed to get through the freeze damage okay. This one's called America. It's another old timer, but been around a long time. And then down here, this is a single peony. I've always liked this one a lot. It's called Requiem, and it's a white single peony, but I really do like that you can see all of that part of the flower that gets camouflaged a bit when you have one of the full double peonies, which I'll take you to in a minute here. Down this way, Scarlett O'hara. Scarlett O'hara is a single red peony. There's a few blooms left on this one, but a number of them have gone by, like this one here has gone by. This one down here has gone by. But it's even kind of interesting what's left afterwards. I will eventually cut those off. The Oriental Poppies are out. They're always so bright and brilliant at this time of year. And then I'll take you over here to this part of the garden. And you can see Dutch iris. These are iris from bulbs. And they make an excellent cut flower. Some more Dutch iris here. And then we have a lot of foxglove in the garden this year. I planted quite a bit of it last year, so we'd have some kind of dramatic spikes coming up here over this next 2 or 3 weeks. Out here next to the road, sometimes hard to hear me because of the traffic, but here's Martha. This is a a peony, much more traditional double peony, just really, really pretty. Seemed to get through the freeze damage okay, although when I look at the blossom really carefully, I can occasionally see some brown streaking that came from the freeze damage a couple weeks ago. And right next to it is an old favorite of the cottage garden, the Sweet Williams. And it doesn't seem like any two are quite the same. You've got this color, you've got this color. So they are in the dianthus family or the pinks family or the carnation family. They smell great. They last quite a while in a vase. And I grow the taller variety so that you can get a good cut flower from it. Just behind, you can see some allium. That's the flowering onion. That makes a nice addition to the cut flower arrangement also. And then this peony here probably suffered some of the worst damage from the freeze that we got. This bud here didn't make it. This bud up here didn't make it. And I think that peony is unmarked, so I'm not sure which one it is. This bloom here I don't think is going to open. Didn't get damaged quite as much. But it was really a matter of what was open at the time or what was getting close to being open and where exactly the freeze hit. Here's a favorite of mine. I love this Siberian Iris. It's called Caesar's Brother. Very dramatic. The foliage is beautiful. So even when the flowers go by, I sometimes leave the seed heads up because they're kind of interesting looking. But it makes a great cut flower. It's very long stemmed, beautiful flower. More Oriental Poppies. They look dramatic, they look great. They are not a very long-lasting cut flower. You might get 2 or 3 days out of them, even cutting them fresh. They look beautiful in the arrangement, but it's just not something that holds up well. This one, if you're an old movie fan person, this one's called Shirley Temple. It's a peony named after the child actress, and it's a very, very pale pink, almost fades to a white. But then again, you can see right here, there's a little bit of the freeze damage again right here, that brown that's in the flowers. And then I was going to show you this really quickly. Here is some Larkspur. This was back to the original video I did, which was on direct sowing into the garden. This feathery, fine, feathery stuff is a larkspur. It's a very tall, spiky flower. It can be used either as fresh or dried flowers. So lots of things in the garden. If you want to stop and see us and you want to walk through the garden on your own, you can. We do allow people to cut flowers for bouquets. Just check in with us and we'll tell you what the procedure is. If you're a former bouquet maker here at our farm and you've come before and you know the drill, you can certainly make your bouquets or cut your flowers and then come and check out with us at the greenhouse and we'll total you up. But great time to be in the flower garden and just enjoying it and taking a quick tour of it. Hope I can do a video more regularly from now on. We did get through that hot spell. And seems like we're in for a few cool days, but then we'll go back to more normal temperatures. See you soon.